This video covers Higher Human Biology, Unit 1, Key Area 1A, Division of Somatic and Germline Cells. So we've got three nice simple success criteria today. We're going to define the terms somatic and germline cell. We're going to explain the role of mitosis in cell division and explain the role of a process called meiosis in cell division. So please take a minute to pause the video and have a go at these 7 questions. These are National 5 recap questions, so it's a good indication of whether or not you've done your revision. Okay, so the answers to these questions. For the first question, there are 46 chromosomes in each human body cell. They're found in the nucleus of the cell. For the second question, body cells are diploid. This means that they have 2 copies of each chromosome. For the third question, gamete cells are haploid. This means that their nucleus contains only 1 copy of each chromosome. For the fourth, if cells gain or lose chromosomes, then this can reduce their ability to carry out necessary cell functions and reactions. This can harm the organism and in some cases can cause cancers. We'll go on to discuss cancers in one of the future parts of this key area. For question 5, each member of a pair of homologous chromosomes comes from a different parent. Question 6, fertilization is a process in which the nucleus of the sperm and the nucleus of the egg fuse to form a diploid zygote. And question 7, the replication stage of mitosis ensures that each daughter cell contains the full complement of 46 chromosomes. So we start by talking about somatic cells. A somatic cell is any cell in the body other than the cells involved in reproduction. So if you generally think about any cell in the body, you'll think about the muscle cells, nerve cells, bone cells, blood cells, and other cells that make us up. You tend to be thinking about your somatic cells. Only the cells which form what are called the germline cells, which we'll talk about, do not come under this term. It's important to clarify that these germline cells are the ones involved in reproduction, but this does not include the cells of the genitals and reproductive tract. These are somatic as they are not able to form gametes or gametes themselves. We go on to talk about germline cells later, and that might clarify the point. Somatic cells divide by mitosis to form some more somatic cells. We don't need a lot of information about mitosis for the higher course, almost less than we did at National 5. We must understand, however, the nucleus of a somatic cell can divide through mitosis to produce more somatic cells which are identical to that original cell. When they do, they maintain the diploid chromosomal number. So in humans, a diploid cell has 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes, which gives them an overall total of 46 chromosomes per cell. The term homologous, which comes up a lot in the course, refers to the fact that both copies of, for example, chromosome 1 have a similar structure and pattern of genes. So the genes are in roughly the same place, even if those actual genes have different alleles. So it might be your dad gave you the hair color gene, your mum's given you the hair color gene. Those will be on homologous chromosomes, but the alleles may be different. One may have given you brown hair and the other one may have given you blonde hair. At the start of mitosis, the individual chromosomes have been replicated and exist as 2 identical chromatids joined together. They're termed chromatids until they separate into their 2 daughter nuclei. So here we are, germline cells. Germline cells are our reproductive cells. So the term germline covers both the gametes, so in the human biology course that is the sperm and the ova, which is the sciencey word for the egg, and also the diploid stem cells that make our gametes and allow them to form. So to clarify the earlier point, the cells that go on to produce our sperm and our ova are germline cells, whereas the cells of the reproductive tract are still somatic. They'll still be made of muscle cells or epidermal cells or things like this. So gametes are constantly being produced in the testes and the ovaries from diploid cells which go through a special form of division called meiosis to form haploid cells. So the nucleus of a germline cell can both replace itself through mitosis or can go through this process meiosis to make gamete cells. It's really important that the germline cell doesn't just do meiosis, it has to do mitosis as well. If we imagine you started with 100 germline stem cells and all of them just went through meiosis to become, say, a sperm cell or an egg cell, we'd have immediately lost our entire capacity to make sex cells, because all of our germline stem cells would now have been differentiated into sperm or egg. We need to keep them back and replace them continuously so that we keep that capacity. When the nucleus of a germline cell divides through meiosis, however, it undergoes two stages of divisions. Firstly, the homologous chromosomes are separated so that each daughter cell has one copy of each chromosome. So we started with 46 chromosomes in our cell. That was 23 types, and for each of those types, one from your mum, one from your dad. After the first stage of meiosis, you have cells which only have 23 chromosomes. It's not the case that all of your dad's chromosomes go into one daughter cell and all your mum's go into another. It could be chromosome 1 to 20 from your dad in one daughter cell, and then the other one's made up from your mum's, and vice versa. In the second stage of meiosis, the chromatids separate and you form 4 haploid cells. So you see in the first stage before meiosis 1, you had 2 different types of chromosome, and in that final stage, you only have a single chromosome of each type in the daughter nuclei. Haploid gamete cells in humans contain 23 single chromosomes. So that is it for this topic. To clarify, we should be able to answer our success criteria now. So we can define a somatic cell as any cell in the body other than the cells involved in reproduction, while the germline cells are gametes, so sperm or ova, and the stem cells that divide to form those gametes. The second success criteria, we know that both germline and somatic cells divide by mitosis to replace themselves. When this occurs, the cell maintains the diploid chromosomal number of 23 homologous chromosomes, giving a total of 46 chromosomes. The role of meiosis in cell division, the third one. As well as mitosis, we should understand that germline stem cells can divide by meiosis, undergoing 2 divisions, firstly to separate the homologous chromosomes, and secondly to separate the chromatids. Haploid gametes contain 23 single chromosomes.